So obviously the news broke last night that Hubert Davis was fired as the head coach of North Carolina. That comes not entirely as a surprise after they bowed out to VCU in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Hubie kind of had a weird tenure at UNC because he did sort of retire Coach K, which UNC fans love to talk about. But then it was also a tenure that was marred with pretty inconsistent success and some pretty bad regular season finishes for the Tar Heels. So I just want to break down who some of the next coach options might be for the Tar Heels, sort of starting with the ones who are a little bit more unachievable in my opinion, and then moving to the more realistic ones. The first one, which has already been shot down by Stevens himself, is Brad Stevens. He obviously is the general manager of the Boston Celtics, and it was reported today that he has no interest in the UNC job. The second one that doesn't make any sense to me is Dusty May. I know that, the UNC job is massive and it's probably the legacy job in college basketball, but Dusty just has such a good thing going at Michigan and can even win the Natty this year with them. So I don't really see that one, but maybe if the money's right, he might make the jump. In a similar vein, Todd Golden from Florida was another name mentioned. A similarly great situation at Florida, a huge program. I'd be pretty surprised if I saw this notification, but he's a name that's been mentioned a lot. Moving a little bit closer to more realistic to me, but still in the former camp with May and Golden, is TJ Otzelberger from Iowa State. He's built a great program there and he's got a good thing going. Making a jump to maybe a little bit of an unsteady situation at UNC right now would be surprising, but it's a huge jump, and this is more realistic than the last two to me. From the NBA ranks, and obviously a former college basketball coaching legend, Billy Donovan just announced that he'll be stepping down from the Chicago Bulls at the end of the year. He's a name that feels very realistic and someone that would be willing to take the UNC job. Another more realistic probability is Josh Schertz from St. Louis. His name's been mentioned a lot, and I think he's a great coach. This would obviously be a huge jump, and maybe not a headliner name that UNC fans would be super excited about, but he's a great coach that I think would be in the running for this job. And then the home run to me is Nate Oates. I think this feels like a match made in heaven. He is one of the winningest coaches in Alabama basketball history already. He has the most tournament success of any Alabama coach in their history. And I just think the jump from Bama to UNC would be enticing to him, and I think he'd steer that program back in the right direction. So with that being said, who would you guys like to see as the head coach for UNC now that Hubie's gone? Let me know in the comments.